tea.
All right, here we are, coffee talk. It's been a little cheeky so far.
It has.
Yeah,
It has.
yeah, sort of just. So, regale it. Oh, whoops, you got there. What's it say?
I got myself a massive mug. Look, it fills the screen. It's that big. Look at
Make
that.
me a cuppa. Ah, very nice.
Make me a cuppa. Yeah, yeah. Big cup of tea.
I've got my black rifle. I bought a French press.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you really? You're
Yeah.
going up in the world, you aren't you?
Works like a champ. You ever used them?
Yeah, I've not got one, but I know what they are. I've never used one. Are they? Do you have to grind your beans first, or is it? All...
You do, and I'm using. Right now, I'm using finely ground because I still have some from stuff that
Yeah.
people sent me over the years. That's been sitting in my freezer for probably 3 years. So I'm sure that's not the best coffee of all time, but well,
No, but the
it's
reason
good
to
coffee,
buy
but
it.
it's been sitting around for a long time.
Sure.
But it's finely ground. I was a little bit worried that there would get a lot of sediment into the coffee, but actually
Right.
the strainer thing works really well if you're careful with it. Boil water, put it in halfway, dump in your however many teaspoons you want to go with, how strong
Yeah.
you want your coffee. I did like
Yeah.
3 or 4. Mix that up a little bit.
Of course you did. Yeah.
Yeah. Mix that up a little bit, fill it the rest of the way up, put the plunger in, let it steep, and let it just sit there.
Yeah, and then you just like push the plunger down, and you got yourself.
Yeah.
Well, how was it? A 2-cupper? Was it
It's
bigger
about
than
a
that?
2.5, I'd say, maybe 3 if you're
Two and a half
not
cup.
if you're not filling up a giant mug, you're probably 3.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, whatever. I like those things. I think we had one many years ago, but I don't think we got one now. It was never a thing because we got tea. But yeah, I can see how that works because it's almost like instant coffee, but not, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not too fiddly. You have to boil the water, so that's you need another vessel to do that with.
sure.
So, yeah, is it better or worse than a percolator? I don't know. I'd say it's different. The percolator has to sit there and percolate, and that's a lot of water because that one was pretty big. That was making a big
Yeah.
old thing of coffee. So, at least I think the French press just feels nicer because I'm only making a couple cups.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I think it's not in a percolator. It tends to sit in the pot for an hour, doesn't it? Because you don't drink
Yeah.
the whole lot in one go, and so the coffee starts to go, if not off, it's not fresh, is it?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it gets a little bitter.
with a French press. It's cool.
I think I'm gonna try the cold brew trick.
Oh, what's that then?
Well, you just cold water, colder room temperature water. Put it in there. Now it takes like 24 hours. You go ahead and put it in your fridge, and just
Right.
let it sit there and steep. I guess it makes
Oh, that's
it's less acidic if you do it with cold water. If it
Yeah.
takes a long time, so I'm gonna try that just for giggles. I know my daughter really likes the cold brew stuff.
I've never thought about that. Maybe that sounds
Yeah.
quite intriguing. That might be an option.
So I might
Yeah.
take a look at that. Might take a look at that. Also, as we were discussing, I'm still probably sitting at 95% on my remodel.
Right,
But-
so finished then. It's 95%.
Nope. Nope. We're just gonna keep.
It's finished. It's finished. 95% is Guido's finished.
Yeah, that's right. So going by my 5 to 10% unfinished trick, I think that's a good recipe for me to disappear. One day.
Yeah.
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 My
Absolutely.
my wife be like, I don't know where he went.
No. Last time I saw him, he was digging a hole in the backyard. No idea where he is now. Oh, dear.
Crown molding piece needs to come in. So really, we're on hold for 2 pieces. The crown molding piece. This is the same report as last week, and the glass for the shower.
Right, so not that far away.
I mean, honestly, those 2 pieces, and then the painting, and the caulking, and we're done.
That is cool. We always said middle of the year, didn't we?
Yeah. But
For
the
a completed date. So by June, it'll be fine.
the painter's the problem. He sort of shows up when he wants to.
Oh, he's one of those
Yeah.
professionals, is he?
Yeah. I mean, he's good. He's actually really good. I kind
Yeah.
of know him because my son knows
Yeah.
his son, and they hung out quite a bit in high school. But it's a small job, and he does other jobs. So what happens with any independent contractor? They go where the big money is. That's where the most
Of
of
course
the
they do.
and then they're like, well, I'll go there. I'll do that, and then I'll spend an hour or two at Guido's house, but invariably they get caught up or they get a late start because they, like to party or whatever.
We'll come on to that, Wayne. We'll
Yeah.
come on to that. That was an interesting tale in itself. It was
Yeah.
definitely one of
So
Pilgrim's
tell us
best
because
tales.
yeah.
So tell you.
So you didn't show up last week. You just quit.
Just quit. Just like abandoned you to your own devices.
It's hard to get good help these days.
It is hard to get help. You're right, and that even transpires to the BT internet cable engineer that turned up at my house 4 hours after I'd made various phone calls and was very polite to a lot of customer service down the phone. He turned up with muddy boots, a high-vis jacket, a straggly beard, and a cross eye. So you know I was going somewhere with this, weren't you? You know what I mean? You never know where to look at people when they've got crossed eyes, do you?
Did he
You don't know
actually?
how to look at them, do you?
Was it actually a lazy eye?
Yeah, one went that way and the other one went that way. And I was like, which eye do I look at when I'm talking to him? You know what I mean? Is he looking sideways at me or is he looking straight on?
That may
Anyway.
explain why it didn't work. Did he?
Yeah, that's
did he
probably-
install it?
That is a question I did not ask him because the internet is connected. The optics, the fiber optics, is connected to a box outside the wall.
Yeah.
So thankfully, they don't have to come into the house as such unless there is a particular problem with the booster, signal booster, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Box on the inside. Anyway, so he goes, right, mate, I'll just go and check the outside box then for you. So, yeah. So he had a tool belt on because he's an engineer. I thought, this is
course.
impressive. He's got a tool belt. He knows what he's doing. So anyway, the first thing, he couldn't get into the box because he didn't have the right screwdriver. So
Two belt didn't have a sandwich in it or anything, did it?
Probably. It was
Yeah.
his fat lunch in there.
Yeah.
So I had to go and lend him one of my set of screwdrivers from the shed. Of course I did, because he didn't have
A
the
tool
size
belt
to-
and he doesn't have a screwdriver.
I don't know. He had a screwdriver, just not the right one.
So there was a sandwich in there probably. All right.
Yeah, probably. This engineer.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought, you
Had
know what, I'm going to leave it.
the sausage roll wrapped up in a napkin.
Something like that, and a pot of tea in there or something. I don't know. So anyway, I left him to it. I thought, I'm not going to stand out in the cold watching fiddle around with whatever's wrong. It was about 45 minutes later. Well, no, it wasn't that much. It was about half an hour.
Yeah.
Knock on the door, and I opens the door. He goes, right, mate, I fixed it for you. It seems like the cable dropped out of the fitting. And I went, the cable dropped out of the fitting. What does that mean? He goes, well, if you come round with me, I'll show you. So he took me round to the box. He goes, see that little cable? It's like, I don't know, it was like that, right?
Yeah.
So it was like fitted into
Yeah.
and it had a screw thing up to
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. He goes, well, that was hanging off, mate. Hanging off it was. Now, I reckon it was all that wind we had the other day. Oh, well, you can fuck off. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to swear, but, I used that word. I went, there's no way the wind blew that off. Whoever fitted this in the first place never screwed it up, and eventually, over time, it's made itself loose. Nah, mate, I think it was a windy day, wasn't it? The other day.
Well, it was a windy day.
I was like, yeah, it was very windy. I'll give you that then. Hey,
So
can I have the
essentially,
screwdrivers back?
what you're telling me is he plugged it back in.
He did, yes. So now I know where it's at. I'll do it myself instead of waiting 4 hours for an engineer to come out with his tool belt with no tools in.
Probably put you in jail opening that up by yourself without supervision.
Probably. There's probably license implications or something, isn't there?
Did he have a safety observer?
Do you know what? I never thought to ask.
Yeah.
He did have a safety hat on his passenger seat in the van, though, but he wasn't wearing it. So maybe I should report him for not wearing the proper safety equipment.
He had his high vis, so
He did have a high vis and he's crossed eyes, so that's probably why he couldn't. That's probably, long story cut short, Wayne. He just plugged it in.
you should check it to see if he cross-threaded it.
Yeah, let me go back and undo it and put it back together again.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh, dear.
Hello, Blow. What's happening, man? How you doing?
At least we're working now.
How's the Aussie this morning? Plus, you have proper screwdriver. Yeah, I can't believe you had to borrow a screwdriver.
I don't know. Well,
There's-
it was a Phillips he had to borrow as well. So
I was going to say there's only two main. There's
Yeah,
actually
two.
multiples now because they have so many
Yeah.
different bits these days. But the two main ones, like you would have to have the two main ones in the tool belt, would you not?
You would think, wouldn't you? You would think you would have a Phillips and you'd have a flathead, wouldn't you? But
Yeah.
he only had flatheads. So he
Wow.
probably picked the wrong tool to set up. I don't know.
Sounds like he was a bit of a flathead.
Yeah. But we're okay now. We're up and running. Have been for the last week.
Is
So,
it working
yeah,
better?
Look, Stickler's got it right. Slots, Phillips, Star, and all the rest of it. Yeah.
We always called a flathead a common.
Oh, did you? Is that what it is?
I don't know. That's what my dad taught me to call it. It's
Well, it is.
Phillips and common.
Yeah, because the Phillips was fairly a new idea many years ago, wasn't it? Because he always had flatheads or square or.
Well,
common.
Phillips sort of
Always
came
had
in.
those.
The Phillips idea sort of came in when machining was good enough that to cut those out, because otherwise, if you look at really old, more or less handmade
Yeah.
or rough machined screws, they always were just a slot because that was the easiest thing
Slot.
to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now they have
There you go.
sophisticated manufacturing techniques. They have all kinds of crazy things, which is now irritating as hell because as soon as you start look at some, start figuring out, all right, I got a square starhead, square,
Yeah.
multiple kinds of stars actually.
Yeah.
It gets-
They're like hex. You get hex ones.
Hex
all
ones,
sorts of
yep.
nonsense, don't you? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
How crazy is that?
Well, good morning, everybody. We've got nothing special. Stickler, Eighth Hussars, Wayne's here, Gator, O Brute, good morning. Low Blow's here, Odd Dog, D Cardi, and Grendel. Robertson are the best.
Robertsons. What's a Robertsons?
I actually watched a video of all things about all the different kinds of what the best one, and I don't remember if they said it was Robertson, but it was some fairly obscure one that technically is the best in not stripping and the most power and easiest to put in, so to speak, all that stuff. There you go. Maybe that was it, Gator. That may have actually been
The
it.
history guy. Yeah,
I bet that was it.
videos, the history
I think
guy,
that was it, actually. You know how you on YouTube you watch a video of something and then your feed gets another of that something and then you watch it
Yeah,
again. You know, and by the time you get through a week, you're like, somehow I'm now the screwdriver history guy. Like
Yeah.
everything on my feed is about that.
Yeah, yeah. Or variants of it.
Yeah.
Wood turning guy turns up for an occasional video, doesn't he?
See,
Turning wood on a chuck and a lathe.
Grendel screwdrivers. Look at him. Cross between a Robertson and a
Robertson
Phillips.
Well, you can't get any better than that, can you?
What else is going on? Let's see. I think that's about it. I just played a bit this week.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we're
Been a
kind
lot
of
going on, hasn't it? Been a lot going on.
yeah. Visitors getting the house together. My wife really likes to entertain, so that's what we ended up doing last night. We hadn't done that for about 3 months, really, just a couple times, because our house
Because
was
of the
always in
decorations and
disarray.
everything else.
Yeah, so it's really pretty much back together, other than a few cleanup items. I tell you one thing I did. I was pretty proud of myself. It's not really that big a deal, but I took the door on the dryer and made it open the other way.
That is far too technical. That is so technical. Well done, you, sir. So how did you manage to do that then?
Well, it's a Speed Queen. It's a brand we have, and it's made to do that. So I knew that was true.
You can have an alternative door. You didn't have to do any drilling then or anything like that.
No, it's all pre-drilled, but it was not immediately obvious to me exactly how it worked. So guess where I went?
Oh, YouTube.
YouTube.
Does the world of goods.
YouTube. And then
Yeah.
as soon as I saw him do it, I'm like, now I understand what's going on here.
That's cool.
Yeah, because you
Did
had
you have
to.
to use left-handed tools to be able to put it back on then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the left-handed screw.
to left-handed.
Yeah, I took because I moved it from the right to the left, so I did have to use a left-handed screwdriver on
There
that
you
one.
are, you see.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the technical things that people fall down on, isn't it? You know?
The trickiest bit, not that it was tricky, and it took me a while to sort of figure out, is although it's pre-drilled holes, it's sheet metal, slightly
Oh, yeah.
slightly upgraded sheet metal and kind of metal screws. It's not, the screws hadn't gone into that particular hole yet, so to speak. So it did
Yeah.
take a little bit of starting it, because
Got you.
know.
Got you.
And at first
Yeah.
I'm like, well, these things aren't working right. And if you're not careful, you can strip the screws because if you get at a weird angle and then you slip it out, and you're like, great. So decent quality, but a little bit disappointing. Once I figured that out and I was careful with it, I got the hinges switched around, and you had to take the outside panel and the inside panel come apart, and you flip the inside panel because you flip the way the door is.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
That was the part that was not apparent to me.
Yeah.
Because I looked at
You
it.
didn't have to change the lock round, though. You didn't have to turn the lock round on.
The lock, the little thing.
Yeah.
It's a post that comes out.
Oh,
You just squeeze it and pull it out and put it over on the other side.
Got you.
Yeah, pretty clever actually how they did that.
Easy enough, I guess.
Yeah, pretty clever how they did it. So we got that all sorted out. Not like that was some great engineering feat. I called your guy. He came over. He put an eye on it for me.
Did he really?
Just one.
Did he blame the wind?
Just one.
Just the one. Yeah.
He was made for it though, actually, because he was looking at both sides of the hinges and figured out immediately what was going on.
He could do both at the same time. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, that's rude.
Oh dear.
We used to call that a Marty Feldman.
Yes. Yeah. Although he had Popeyes, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think they were also.
Were they crossed as well?
They were no, they weren't. Were they? They were just kind of crazy. Wasn't
they
he
were
able
just
to
like
sort of?
loose.
Wasn't he able to?
They were just loose in the
There
socket. There was no traction, was there? They just flopped around like, you know. I wonder what his vision was like. I wonder what he actually saw.
They were
revolving house.
They were influenced by any wind speed that may be going on around his head.
Oh man, that is funny.
Poor Marty Feldman.
Yeah, poor guy.
Poor guy. Let's see. That's it, man. I think that's it for channel news. Didn't play much of any other games. Yeah.
You haven't done Kingdom Come. You didn't try and get out of that castle.
I need to revisit that. I've been following the controversy on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which apparently is entered the culture war discussion.
Yes, there's been a lot of YouTube talk, hasn't there?
Yeah.
A lot of YouTube stuff going on.
Yeah. Kind of an interesting situation, actually. It's all that stuff is like going crazy, but apparently the issue people have with it is like the gay scene, and then the issue with that is not necessarily that, but I guess the character historically was a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Or but then at that time that was actually a man.
He got married at that.
Well, yeah, I mean, 15-year-olds were fighting and a lot. So there's all that kind of back and forth stuff going on. But then in the documentation of the game, they're like, this character is 20 in the game because it's based on history. It's not history. So it's just everyone's like little angle just comes in, and you're like, yeah, I see that, and then you're like, nope, I see that, and that, you know.
To be honest, people get offended, and it's just a game. You know, sod it. It's a game. I don't take any notice about characters. I don't give a toss. It's just a game.
Well,
it's a mission to be completed.
I am on board with that, but I'm also on board with people like, why does everything have to have a relationship in it?
Oh yeah. That's the worst.
Of whatever kind. I don't even care what kind. It's like, what's the point of the? Again, it's a game. Why is there a romance in a game?
Yeah. Why is there a love interest in a game? It's just about achieving the missions as the game is set it,
it's
and then
just so
not
cringe-worthy. Either angle of it, even if it's hetero, I'm like, ugh. They're cartoon pixels. Somebody coded that.
Yeah, somebody took time out to actually design that, didn't they? What a nightmare!
Oh man!
And I can't do back. I mean, the backstories don't interest me at all. But the problem with the games today is that if you don't get involved with the backstory, there's certain elements of the game which are important you miss out on. So it gives the backstory sometimes gives direction about how you need to navigate the game, which is a pain in the arse because it means you've got to watch all the cutscenes to see what's going on and all the nonsense.
Well, you bring up kind of a good point. Really, it's. I guess I should modify my stance that it's not. I'm not necessarily against the relationship. I won't talk about romance, but the relationship stuff as background information. It's the active player interaction of pushing one direction
Yeah.
or the other in romance options that just drives
Yeah,
me
yeah.
crazy. I don't want anything to do
Yeah.
with it. That's one of the things that Baldur's Gate 3 drove me crazy because it baked into everything. Every time you turned around, someone's making a move like they're in a club somewhere. I'm like, what 12-year-old coded this? Like, grow up,
exactly.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
Yeah,
Lord.
Exactly.
Each
Yeah.
goober's fever dream has been coded into all these things. Like, come on, man.
For me, it's a distraction from the game. It's like, but as you say, you've got to not all the time, but at least some of the time you've got to go through it, just in case there's something that is actually applicable to the gameplay.
Yeah.
For example, here's a good example.
I don't think it's just that, Grindel. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it is. Well, it could be but yeah, it could be Grendel, it could be that, but yeah, it's in Kingdom Come Deliverance. His love interest is the barmaid, but so you have to go to the bar to get the beer for your father and all that sort of good stuff. But it's intrinsic to the gameplay because if you don't do that, it's something missing when you try and get all your.
Well, and that's fine. What I'm talking about is, the scene, like the culmination scene that they always have. Like that we could do without that, and the very, very specific. It's like, fine, if you want to put that as a background thing, because that's why he went there to get the thing for his dad, and he's chatted up the barmaid, and off he went. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. It's anywho, that's a big controversy but I will say I've seen some of the scenes, in-game scenes from number 2, and like one of them, they're standing in a field. You know how, like, if you're in a video game and they model the countryside, it always feels limited. Like,
yes,
you can sometimes you can see far, but you can't go there, and it'll show a meadow, and the meadow is like 14 steps across the meadow, and that's it. This thing, it looked like he was looking a mile down the fields, and then there was a little castle down there, and you just got a sense of it looked like you were in the world. I thought I don't know how they managed that scale.
Cool. That's cool, but that's going to take an awful lot of processing power, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they managed the scale. It was awesome. A little bit like the scale feeling I get in DCS, where it looks correct. Like you're in it, and you're like that. The scale and the size of things and how I'm looking at it feels like pretty close to the world, right?
Is that out now? Is it due out?
Yeah, I think it's actually beta, or
is it?
I don't know if it's fully done. That's the other thing. Civilization 7's out. People are going crazy about that, and it's like it's a early release beta thing. Like, why am I this company's tester?
Yeah. Yes.
But spend $100 to. We've talked about this in the past. $100 to be a beta tester for a game that's half baked. What's the point? By the time you get a full game, you've played it so many times, there's nothing new.
Yes, and invariably you know all the passageways in the game as well, don't you? So it's no longer a challenge when you get it out on full. Well, it may be a little bit of a challenge, but it never goes out of testing like Grendel.
Grendel's right. A lot of these games are never actually finished. Things promised and the way it's supposed to be, they just never get there. So then they start putting out DLC of other stuff, and like Civilization 7 is missing all kinds of major things that were supposed to that they claimed would be in it. Like, I don't remember the details, but it's some of the PvP stuff. It's whether you can have teams or not. Can you start in different ages? You can't even do that. You have to start at the beginning. It's got this 3-age system, which is different from other Civ games, and the UI is apparently clunky and not finished. It's like crazy. Why would I spend AAA money for a game that isn't even finished?
I know, isn't it? It's just the way it is, isn't it? You see, the hook is people like to think that they've got the inside track. Just I've done beta. Well, I guess that's part of it. You do get some knowledge of the game before it actually goes on general release. But for me, beta spoils it for you because when it comes out in general release, you probably know 2/3 of the game. And part of gaming for me is the exploration of the new game and what it's all about and getting into it. And if you do beta, I mean, great for people who do it.
Well, invariably, you get to a point in the game that isn't finished, and you don't know that, or whatever, or that
That's it.
There'll be something in the UI that indicates you could do this thing, but then you can't, and then you got to, all right, go to the internet, like, oh, that part of the game's not finished. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I see, I can't do that now. All right, great.
Yeah.
Well, that, geez, come on,
Morning,
man.
Zimbo. Morning.
7 Days to Die. Is that one still in beta?
Oh, is
The
it?
other one I just got,
Crikey.
I think Manor Lords is still in development.
No,
So
it can't be.
I
Surely
think so. I
not.
bought it, and from what I can tell, here's the other thing that pisses me off about it. And this is a personal problem, but when it is an early release, and then you do go to the internet to figure out what's going on, you have to pay attention to when the video was made about it, because it might be talking about an older version of it. That happens
Yes.
anyway in
Yeah.
games as they upgrade,
Yeah.
but especially
Yeah,
in
no.
beta games, because if you're looking at a how-to video from the day it came out, it may be wildly different 2 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
So you got to
Yeah.
deal with that. That's always a pain in the rear. Yeah, I don't get into the corporate greed. I get it, understand that, and yes, they're trying to make money, so they release it early. I don't think it's so much. I'll be honest with you. I don't. Greed is a word that is overused. Anyone who's trying to make money is greedy somehow. Well, everybody,
I think it's a business. It's a business decision. Yes.
it is 100%, and every person is greedy. Period. Dot.
Yeah.
Don't kid yourself, right? It's baked in. It's actually not necessarily a bad thing. It gets you motivated to do things. Can it go too far? 100%. I think it's some of that, and I don't use greed in the pejorative in that case. It's some of that, but it's also a useful business model for having people help them test and figure out the game.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that people have done it because they're happy to get a new game early.
Yeah.
So like anything in life, it's some of both. I think, in my opinion, in my worthless opinion.
Well, I think it's a valid opinion, to be honest.
And I'm not even greed, whatever. If it's a product I'm interested in, then I'll do it. And I guess that's where we get into
Yeah.
the back and forth on. Some people probably like the early release because maybe they like to dive in and help and figure it out. But if you're just a one-off or one-each consumer, you're like, dude, I'm spending $80, $90, $100 on a game. I'd like it to be 95% like Guido's Kitchen.
Yeah.
If we're
Yeah.
just missing a piece of crown molding, then
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I walk in and the cabinets haven't even been put in yet, and then there's a nice picture that says, "Here's what we'll look like." Well, I don't want to play.
Yes.
I don't want to play that game.
No. No. I'd rather have it. I'd rather work on it, have it done, and look back at it, and go, yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah.
it. No, I get where you're coming from. I think it's a valid point, to be honest.
Well, Project Cold War, I think, is a different situation because it's free. Look, if you want to do free play tests, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
That's all on the company, right? There's no cost for the individual other than the time to download it, unless they're charging for it or charging for stuff. Because, like, what's that game? Star Citizen.
Yeah. Yeah, I played that a couple of times. It was so complicated, I gave up in the end.
The amount of money people have spent on that thing without it even
Yeah.
being close to complete and what they promised it almost feels criminal what they did.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Go if you're interested in it. Go watch some videos about Star Citizen because it's wild the amount of money people have spent on that. But the vision in it is pretty impressive what they're trying to do, and even right now, what it can do is kind of interesting. But it's
Yeah,
still sort of
yeah.
an empty world, really.
Well, if you think, I mean, you only have to take the game that we play and love so much, World of Tanks. Albeit over 12, 13, 14 years, if you were to ever sit down and rationalise how much you've spent on this game, I think you'd stop playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think you really would, wouldn't you? You'd be like, what?
Well, since I've been a CC and a CA, obviously a significant amount of my content over the last 6 to 8 years has been basically free. Before that, though, thousands of dollars easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easily, yeah.
I mean, who would have thought when you picked up your mouse and you downloaded World of Tanks, you would be able to say in 12, 14 years' time, thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars.
Well, and even with being a CC, like for Christmas and giveaways and things I've done over time,
yeah.
it's still hundreds of dollars. Now that's stuff
Yeah.
that comes in from the channel that I then put back out into the channel. But that's slowed down significantly. If I did because used to do that periodically, kind of, hey, state of the channel, what's going on,
Yeah.
how much are we making, all that stuff. That's because I'm not streaming nearly as much. That's definitely gone down.
No, not at all. Grendel swore never spend a dime. Well, obviously, yeah.
Did you accomplish that, Grendel? Have you never spent a dime on World of Tanks?
I don't even think. Do you know what? I don't think there's anybody over the age of 16 hasn't paid into this game. And probably below the age of 16 if they've got mums and dad's credit card.
Bad word, no.
Yeah.
Well, if you're honest with yourself and you understand life and opportunity cost and time is money, even if all you do is sit down and play the game, you have spent money on this game, because what you could have been doing was something that made money, right? I'm not saying everybody should do that or that even you want to. It's just you have to be honest with yourself. The time you spend playing games could be spent doing something else.
Yeah, no, absolutely that.
Would you want to live that life? Maybe not. Probably not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go, Wayne. Time equals money. Yep.
It does.
All right, cool.
So how are we doing? How are we doing anyway? How are we doing? How are you doing on the heavy tank line at the moment? What you got going now?
I'm done with that, man. I unlocked the last feller.
Good.
Let's
Well,
go.
so then you've got some realistic info to give out on the line.
I've done the.
Done the videos.
I think I've done all the videos, even the 9. So let's see. Let's take a quick perusal of this. Where are you on it? Do you have them?
I've got the chopper now.
Okay.
I played about 4 games in it. For 4 games, I've got a 75% win rate in it. I mean, it's interesting, but it's interesting if you're same tier or 1 tier above is slightly less interesting, because you start to come up against the BZs.
Yeah.
And all that sort of nonsense.
Yeah.
And you don't last very long when you start coming up against, or the what's that AMX? Is it no? What's the TD, the new American?
Oh, the XM57 thing.
XM50. You come across.
Yeah.
I mean, I came across that in the last game I had this morning, and I had no answer for it. It just absolutely creased me straight away.
Yeah, you got those 2 little 230 alpha pew-pews on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh dear, I'm gonna die now.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Let's see, Chopper. It's actually doing pretty well.
Cool.
So it looks like maybe the level of player is starting to decrease, but it's showing a 1.58 win rate differential. So this is a decent, and I agree with you. I thought the Chopper was pretty good at tier. I wasn't bothered by the Chopper. It doesn't have, let's see, get this. There we go. It doesn't have a massive tumor on it. It's just got the, what just happened? I have no idea. It's got this little hatch, dude, so it's not too bad in that case. The armor's decent.
Yeah.
230 alpha is not great for a heavy, but it's got two barrels, so it can pop a 460 at tier 7, which is
it's got
not
fairly
bad.
good gun depression as well.
Yeah.
So that's useful.
I think the double barrel mechanic, the way it's meched, works for this tank pretty well.
Yeah.
It's not very fast. That's a little painful. That's why I'm running a turbo on it. But otherwise,
I got turbo on mine. Yeah.
Otherwise, and decently accurate at 0.32 at tier 7. That's actually pretty good for a tier 7.
Yeah.
Minus things like a Tiger and a few others that have better dispersion. So the Chopper didn't bother me at all. Howsomever, this one, the Conceiver, is a bit painful.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Now let's see how it's doing here. We'll go to tier 8 now. What do we got with the Conceiver? It's pretty high as far as tech tree tanks go. It's the first. It's the best in terms of tech tree tanks, but it's way down here below all these other. It's number 2. Sorry, Type 57 is actually better.
But it's gonna see tier 9s, isn't it? So I guess that's where it's down for.
And
It's always
tens.
gonna be.
And tens.
Oh, it sees tens as well. Of course
Yeah,
it
it's
does.
an 8,
Tier
right?
8, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's a minus 1.31 win rate differential, so it's definitely, it might even drop a little bit more because right now the people who are playing it still tend to be slightly higher than average, and so it's
Right.
underperforming. And I found that to be true as well. This big old
Right.
tumor right here on this thing is painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then it only bumps up to a 280 alpha, which sucks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can't even use any gun depression or anything like that because of the tumor. If it wasn't for that tumor, you could work the ridge lines with it.
And like almost every tech tree tank at tier 7 that has a corollary premium, the Contradictus is just better.
Of course it is, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's what, 320 or 360? A 360 alpha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost 100, 80 more alpha than the stupid Conceiver.
Yeah.
And probably kind of better, well, objectively better armor profile because it doesn't have a massive tumor.
Yeah.
Got a small hatch, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have this big
Yeah.
shoot me, F me. You know, like, hey, hey.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If they want to, it is like that. It's like,
Hello.
it's like a big flag waving. Hit me here.
It's like, ah.
Yeah, here I am.
So dumb.
For me, if you're gonna have a characteristic of a tank, and okay, maybe the double barrel's the characteristic, but most Brit tanks tend to have good gun depression, so they're all.
Yeah.
Most of them, I would say, are ridgeline, snipers. They're not assault tanks in any way. So if you're going to have that characteristic, then don't demean it by putting a tumor on it the size of Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, I can't conceive why they did it.
No conception whatsoever. Whoa, see what you did there.
So it's still doing pretty well. It's still being played by a little bit better than average players, but it does have a negative win rate differential. So it's not going to challenge the top premiums, which no tech tree does. Interesting that it's actually still number 2. So it's not horrible. I just didn't find it to be as good as maybe the Conceiver at tier. Then that leaves us the Contender. How's it doing?
Is it a contender though?
I think so. It's not. It's not bad, man. It's actually number 4 overall, which is pretty crazy. This is NA stats, by the way, guys. Look at that, number 4 overall.
Well, that's surprising, isn't it?
Well, and the Type 68's up there as well.
Yeah.
I think recently buffed the tank, and it's holding at tier 9 a positive win rate differential, even with a pretty good, in fact, one of the higher player win rates, the 5th highest player win rate average. That bodes well for it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Because
good players
not
and
always good
overperforming.
players, is it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, if the average, and again, these numbers go down. Clearly, it's one kind of follows the other. You have good players playing it; it's going to have a better win rate. But still, they're also overperforming a little bit, not crazy, a little bit at tier 9, which is good. So I think it's maybe still. I think it's probably a stay in the top 10 over time. We'll see.
Okay,
We'll see.
all right.
We'll see as the better players stop playing, because guys try to get in there and 3 market. Some of the better players may actually grind through, and now they're kind of arriving there, and they're working the 3 marking and all that stuff. So it really takes a year before you know. Like, where's a tank that's been out for a while that we thought was going to be good? Let's say, well, here's one that's just bad. The M6Y. It's a relatively new line in the last 3 or 4 years, whatever it was. It's just kind of stabilized down here. Right? It's just poop. The Progetto 66, it's stabilized down here. That kind of thing. 257.
I mean, it's a fair indication of the not just the tank's ability, but where it sits in the whole scheme of things. So whatever the coding is to give it the characteristics it's got, the Wargaming are intimately aware that they'll know that these tanks will sit wherever they're sitting.
And the Type 68, that's a fairly new one. And it's been out for a while. And, to some extent, again, other things follow things. If the tank's good, better players will gravitate towards it. So that will also help the player win rate average be higher because better players gravitate to good tanks. BZ-68 has been out for quite a long time. Better players are
Yeah.
gravitating
Yeah.
towards it because it's objectively a pretty darn good tech tree tank. The M451, same idea. Even though it's been out for a long time, it's fairly strong and has a relatively high player win rate average on it because good players gravitate towards the good tanks.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, when you go through your garage and you've got, I don't know, you've got 700 tanks, you tend to just go to, unless you've got a specific mission, you tend to just go to those tanks that you know you do well in.
Yeah.
So, you know, you might have 20 or 30 tanks which you go to of all the different classes.
So I haven't touched the
There's
count.
certainly no way you,
Yeah.
sorry, go on.
No, you're fine.
There's certainly no way you could play. I mean, even the best players can't play every tank in the garage. So, yeah, absolutely the
Right, at all times. Yeah. Yeah. So you're right. Exactly. So yeah, 100%. Look at the can opener's actually really far up there, but it's rocking a -2 win rate differential. Look how high the player win rate is on it right now, 53.74 average. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But still,
But again, this'll settle down over time,
yeah.
like everything, won't it? So, if you got a -2, I wouldn't assume
There's
it would be up there.
There's a pretty significant difference. You know, when you get to the chieftain, and these are all award tanks right here, so you can see that swing on the win rate differential plus the skill of the players just absolutely kind of skyrockets around here at the BZ-72-1 area and these tanks. Just because the people who own them tend to be quite decent players. That's kind of crazy. And the first one that is more or less available to the any man is the can opener here. Now this is a built tank. This was a build tank. So these are all available, but somewhat limited. You know, 279 early, you got to get out of missions. 260, same idea. That's a Clan Wars tank. Clan Wars. I think Clan Wars 72-1. I'm not sure. Not many played that one. I don't even know if that's out yet. That might be testers, but I'm not sure how you get 72-1. Is that also Clan Wars or something, guys? I don't know.
I don't know.
The can opener and M5 wire that, you know, I guess you could call the KPZ and the Object 780 kind of, what's the word, accessible because they were build tanks, but not everybody had that many resources to build those.
You could get it without entering competitions or things like that. You just had to have the right
resources
to do it.
Yeah, so I mean these seem to be decent. I didn't even the one I didn't care for, the Conceiver, that much. I didn't hate. It wasn't horrible to play.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel as comfortable as the Conceiver or as the Contender.
I think they'll find themselves in the similar niche to all the double barrels. They'll be that support heavy. There would never be an assault heavy tank, no matter what wargaming call it. I think there will be that sort of support tank sitting on the second line, doing never probably using both barrels in a whole game, to be honest, unless you're very lucky, and just using the one barrel reload speed to snip away at people, you know.
I think you're looking for the opportunity if it you are paying attention to the opportunity if it presents itself, vice trying to force opportunities for the double barrel. That's my advice with the double. Maybe with most of the gimmick stuff. Look for even like autoloaders. Don't force opportunities with autoloaders, but be aware of them and ready to take advantage of them when they're there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, with all that sort of mechanism, you tend to be hanging out longer than you need to be out.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're putting yourself into a position where you could get really seriously damaged. So yeah. Absolutely.
Well, the Kust, so what happens, I think, Coronel, is something hits that, and then the commander sticks his head out of the hole and it's like, what happened? And then the gunner's like, what happened to the commander? And then he looks out and he's gone. That's what happens. Eventually you get the radio operator sitting down there going, no,
I'm not looking. I don't care what's happening out there. I'm not looking.
Naturally, the next hit penetrates where he's sitting, and now he's gone.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what happens.
That's exactly how it happens. I've read the book.
Wayne got the Eric. Did you get?
Cool.
I'm assuming.
25 boxes.
I'm assuming you didn't buy any boxes.
I didn't. No,
Yeah.
not a thing. Because I just don't want any of that.
Yeah. Did you see the video?
Yeah, I did.
that I
Yeah.
did? Holy cow, I got lucky.
Yeah, yeah, you did very well. Yeah, I mean, I was very tempted after watching the video, and I thought, no, this if they'd have done, and I'm not necessarily saying they should have done gold the same way they did Christmas, but if that would have been more of an incentive to me because I'm not a tank collector.
Isn't that whole
So-
thing interesting, actually, how they... Christmas, they have all that gold, and then they do multiple other box events, and they still sell boxes even though they're objectively worse,
Yeah,
only because there's new tanks that people might want to have.
yeah, yeah.
Now, good on them for having the 50 tank pity mechanic, because essentially I don't know, what are 50 boxes? What's that cost? $50 or something like that?
Yeah, it was. Well, you can't get 50. Oh, you have to buy 225s, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about $1 a box, I think, and less with
Yeah.
discount. So yeah, so $50-ish for 2 sets of 25, or $67 for 75. Now the trick with that one is, if you hit 2 tanks, you're probably getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
But you only have a pity mechanic for 1 in 75 boxes.
Yeah.
So if you bought a 75 and a 25, you'd be at $91, and you would be guaranteed 2 tanks, and that's not necessarily. That's right at the edge. Obviously, you then have to look at all the other goodies, because Wargaming monetizes all the little other doodads that are in there. Same discussion as always, right, Pilgrim? Are those what are they? Personal reserves worth money to you
Well-
or not? You know.
Well, here you go. If they're pricing crew books, for example,
Right.
Universal Manual, which gives you 250,000 credits, they're pricing that at nearly 4,000 gold for a single book.
That's insane, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? That's like, well, 3,750 gold for a crew book that gives you 250,000 credits, but it's not going to give you full skill set at all, on any crew member.
4,000
gotta
gold.
say.
Let's see here.
Uh,
What is that? $12? 15, 20? $20.
yeah. So
20
yeah.
bucks for a crew
Yeah.
book. How many skills does that get you, fellas? 2 or 3 if you
Well,
started from 0?
If you start from 0, I think it's about 3.
Is that the one for the whole crew or just for one person?
Let me have a look. I was looking at these.
Has to be for the whole crew.
Is that through?
Got to be the whole crew.
Um,
Where are you looking at? Where are they selling that?
in the store, if you go to the store, apply to the whole crew. Yeah, when studying, each crew member receives
Okay.
250,000 XP. But exponentially,
Oh, I see. Yeah, crew book offers.
exponentially, the next time you buy it to apply to that crew, it's worth less because you need more XP to get
Yeah.
the next skill level. Because it grows, doesn't it? I mean, you could probably get 3 skill levels out of that. If you try to get any more, you probably need 2 books per crew member to
My
do
offers are, my universal says 2,500 gold.
3,750 for mine. I'm
For-
on NA as well.
Really? For the universal manual, 250,000 crew XP?
Yeah, 3,750. Have you got discount applied? I am.
I don't know. It just says, no, it doesn't say that. It just says 2,500 on mine. Or are you looking at the, hold on. Are you looking at the Serpent's Treasure thing?
No. I'm the second. I'm in the star.
Yeah.
Best. And then scroll down. I scroll down to the crew book.
Oh, I
First
see.
one it says what plus. Then it says Lunar New Year gold offers. Then there's theme bundles, OLS support bundles, and then it says crew book offers.
Huh. Yeah, my personal training manual, although it seems to be attached to the Lunar New Year stuff, which that's where the discount is. Mine says 3,900. So yeah, I think somehow you're looking at the discount, the Lunar New Year one. But still, that's a lot. My Schmaltrum is right now at 0 gold.
Is it?
So I'm gonna sell that. Let's do that right
Yes.
now, just for giggles. I'm gonna make sure we can. I'm gonna do this for science. Has anybody done this yet? Gonna do this. Schulman, Schmaltrum. Sell. No crews in there. We're gonna go ahead and sell the equipment because I have so much equipment. It's the lower level equipment. I don't even care. 1, 2, 3. So that's 910,000 silver. Boom. Okay, and then we're gonna go back to missions, events, the cat store, down to the Schmaltrum. Purchase for 0 gold. And I get a crew, and that's a bummer. I don't really need that, but whatever.
Yeah.
And I have a Schmaltrum again.
There you go.
There you go.
Job done.
Almost 1,000,000 credits for me.
Yeah.
Only because I had the equipment, but it's 600,000 something silver and
Yeah.
whatever. So there you go, fellas. It works. In case you were wondering, you will have had to have gone through all of the missions like I have. In fact, I only have 2 more serpent things to open. Where are you on this thing?
Oh, crikey, I'm way down. Where am I? Let me have a look.
You got to make sure you're getting your free 2 a day as well, because that has helped.
Yeah.
The last set of missions are up as well, set 5 of 5. So there's another 45 tokens left, and I'm gonna need, looks like at least 40. No, that's 25. All right, so that's a 20. So I need 55. I have 18. I'm 30. But I'm gonna have to do all 3 of those, aren't I? So that's 30, 48. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do all 3. Looks like you pretty much had to get every token to finish it, minus a few.
Yeah, looks like it, doesn't it?
Almost every token. That's 45.
Level 6, I'm only got to
63.
level 6. Yeah.
Looks like there was about 8 extra tokens or so, something like that total. So you could miss a few days of the free tokens, but you had to pretty much do all the mission tokens. Interesting.
Yeah.
And I guess this discount is still increasing here.
Yeah, I think it does, because at the moment I'm not. Where am I?
I mean, that's an okay deal. A Type 63 for 8,500. Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
Lorraine for 8,300. Yeah. So I think there's a couple more discounts available. Yeah, it's not as there's not as much pressure on it, Grendel, is there? It's not like
No, it almost works in the background, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You don't even have to think about it, really.
other missions. Just since we've sort of moved on to missions and specials anyway.
Yeah.
There's a Sherman tank thing going on, by the way, in case you didn't know that. It's just some PRs and a decal and stuff. I'm not really sure what it has to do with anything, but it's from the 8th to 11th, and I'm assuming you have to play a Sherman of some kind. Yes. Well, which, holy cow. 1, 2, 3. I have 14 Sherman versions in my garage.
I was going to say, how many have you got? I bet there's hundreds of them. Yeah.
So see, we got the Sherman from Battle Pass. We have the original M4A1 at Tier 5, the improved at Tier 5, the Easy 8, the Jumbo, the
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Easy 8, the Fury Easy 8, Loza's A2 Sherman, Sherman 3, the Brit one, Sherman Firefly, the Brit
Yeah.
AT, Sherman VC Firefly, and then the kind of weird ones, because the M4A1 FL10 I think wasn't actually made. That's the French autoloader thing. The Rev, which I think is actually an Israeli upgrade to it with a bigger gun at Tier 8. And then
Oh, right, okay.
then
yeah.
the E4, which I don't know where that one came from. That was some kind of gift tank or something, I think, at Tier 5. I didn't even know that thing existed. Where did the M4A2 E4 come from at Tier 5? Huh. I didn't even know I had that in the garage. Is that a Russian version? Tier 5.
Oh, is it? Oh,
I don't
is
know.
it?
I'm not sure. Where
You've
is
done the
that?
French one, haven't you? You just
Yeah.
spoke about the French one,
M4, blah, blah. Wait. Where'd that one go? Was that one I didn't have? The Ram 2 is sort of a Sherman too, isn't it?
Sort of, isn't it? It's like a mini Sherman.
It's a German. Hydrostat. Did I misread it and it's really a 6? Maybe it's a 6 and I just didn't see it right. Also, that might have meant I didn't have it in the garage. Hold on. Maybe it said not in garage. That's probably what happened. Reading is difficult. Yeah, I think it said not in garage, Zimbo.
What's the M4?
Not in garage. There you go. Not in garage.
Not in garage. Yeah.
I don't have that. You know why I don't recognize it?
Why?
Because I don't have it.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Not that you haven't played.
Weird. It's I just don't have it.
Just don't have it. That's all. Yeah. What about the M4A1 FL10? Is that a Sherman?
Actually, I think the RAM is actually on a M3 chassis.
Oh, is it?
I believe it's an. I think it's an M3 hull. I think. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah. I think you're right.
it's a turret on top of an M3 hull or a modified M3 hull.
Yeah,
Pretty sure. Aight. Cool. Yeah, Serpent's Treasure, guys. That goes to the 13th. So the last missions are up. Or an early Sherman hull. Maybe it's an early Sherman hull. Could be. We've got the Schmalturm. You can make some cash on that if you've unlocked the fact that it's 0 gold.
Yeah.
And that's it, I think, for missions and specials. As far as stuff they're selling, there's not a whole bunch in the store. There's boxes, of course. They're about $1 a piece minus the discount at more and more boxes. They are selling the FL10, Lozes, and the M4 Improved.
Yeah.
The FL10's kind of interesting. None of those I would jump on necessarily. Although this one's also packaged with some gold and some silver. I mean, if you're new to the game and needed a tier 6 premium, that might be your way to go there. Nothing in gold. Vehicles wise, there's nothing here big either. Just the packages and the standard stuff for sale. There's a lot better ways to get premiums right now with the special that's going on and other ways, 3D styles, etc. So there's nothing else really going on there.
No.
Nothing else going on there. All right, we've been out for an hour. Let's take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
We'll refresh the coffees and the teas and whatnot. The FL10 is an Israeli variant. Really? I thought it was... Well, I think it's using French stuff, right? All right, 5 minutes. We shall be right back.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell, to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. swamplands came the mountain man to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. The mountains are home where he watches the moose and hummingbirds aplenty. But he saw the need for the Wat community to have a guru and lead them gently. Down the road to Unicom land will die, trying hard in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So he broadcast his message far and wide, using YouTube, Twitch, and various means, to lead you to the promised land of WR. Win 8 and damage counts. That a mortal man is only stuff of dreams. Win your flank and then go back, was his mantra for the pack, to which they shouted, yes, boss man, that we will. Win our flank and then flex back. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido, to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His
All right, we are back. Got to put my eyes back on. Put my Marty Feldman's back on.
Yeah.
Next rib smoker you have to get Guidos. Never heard this much of this. Yeah, did it end? There you go. Sorry, I got to chatting with the Brits in the kitchen. I didn't want to be rude and just walk away. Okie dokie. Subjects du jour, I think. That's where we are. That's what we've come to. That's what we've come to. So, we have a new patch coming up. Pilgrim, did you know that?
We do, yes.
Ah.
We have a new patch coming out. Of course we do. What a month these days.
This is sort of interesting, actually. It's not something I thought about. Excuse me. Let's get the Chrome going on here. They continue to make, I don't know how you would put this, additions, I guess, that I don't know who asked for.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For example, quick service.
You know what that means?
New feature streamlines vehicle setup like never before. With a single window, you can quickly prepare any vehicle. A new button replacing a repair button when it's not needed. Where is that? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Gives you access to a list of recommended equipment, consumables, ammunition, even preset styles. It also suggests crew transfers so your vehicle is ready. So I guess you press a button to get this window and it suggests here's how you should set up your tank, essentially. And here's some preset styles you can use for it.
Yeah, but in whose opinion? How to set up your tank?
Good question.
Wargaming's opinion.
Well, not exactly. What they've done is they've crowdsourced it and they're going with the most popular setup.
Okay, well,
I don't-
guess that's all they can do, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? I'd still set it up the way I want to set it up. mean,
I think
until
you can find that information already on like I think this may have it. Does this have setups? Compare server stats, tank stats. I think if you pick a tank, yeah, there you go. Equipment. Loadout analytics. There. So you can actually find the most
Okay.
popular ones. At least
Yourself.
as far as tanks.tomato.gg thinks. So from its data set, it says these are the most popular. Very interesting, actually. These you could go down a lot of rabbit holes with this. It's actually got crew skills set up as well. So all this stuff exists. I guess wargaming is just sort of finally leaning into it. Look at how you get to these lower percentages and the win rate of players who, and the win rate, the correlation of the people who use in the case of the BZ72 one. Oh, this one has a small. Let's go look at something that a lot of people play, because that could be skewed by that kind of stuff. Let's go look at the E100, for example. Let's check that out. Loadout analytics for the E100. Although everyone's got pretty good. Hardening rammer turbo, 25%. Vertstab hardening rammer. Hardening vents rammer. Look at the experimental equipment creeping in there. But that's at 5. These are all quite small subsets. That's 25. 50%, or a little over 50% of the players do it these 3 ways. So that data exists out there. All right. Oops. I'll go over here. What else we got in update 128? We'll help you with the crew too, offering 2 crew setups.
I can see the value of it.
Yeah? I think that's a
why
new
not?
player experience thing maybe as well. Like, I don't know what to do with all
Yeah.
this. Let's just go with what
Yeah.
the game suggests and we'll move on from there. Put those in the box with the 5 keys, Coronal.
Yeah, it all goes together. Becomes
Yeah.
a big collection for next Christmas.
Yep.
Madam Yorktown has got a rotary cannon M163 what's that? VADS bats? Oh, it's console tank. What
Ah,
are they getting? What
Con-
are they getting?
it's console. Who knows? Nobody knows what's going on
Who
with
knows?
console. People are using controllers
Yeah.
to play video games, which
Yeah.
is just kind of.
Silly, isn't it?
It's kind
What's
of.
wrong with all this lot?
It's no way to play a video game.
No, it's not at all.
Terrible stuff. They're gonna.
No value in maps, says Jimmy K, which is so true. No value in maps. Oh yeah, I got it. Madam Yorktown got it.
have a decal.
Yeah, have a decal. Have
Perk.
a stamp.
Perk updates. Practicality is going from 10 to 15 or 20 to 30 with a directive. So they're increasing or decreasing the time for it to increasing the percentage, which decreases the time for your consumable to be back. I don't think anyone uses practicality. Does anybody use practicality? I don't see any advantage over other more useful perks. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Reliable
It's the last one to
placement.
choose. It's been chosen.
What crew member has a reliable placement? Is it the loader?
Well, it must be, mustn't it? Surely. Wouldn't be the signaller, would it?
No, it's not the loader.
Is it not? Gunner, maybe.
Gunner, reliable placement. Gunner?
No, it's got concentration, quick aiming, armourer. No, not my gunners anyway.
Huh. Okay, that's weird. Radio operator?
I bet it's the driver.
Well, it must be because we're running out of
It is
guys.
the driver.
It's the driver.
It's the driver, yeah.
Why does the driver have reliable placement?
No idea. Increases HE shell damage absorption by 10% because he ducks and weaves. Oh, really?
I guess so. Yeah, right. Yeah. I like the little cartoon shows it driving off a cliff.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. That's,
Whoa! Oh, okay.
If we're going to go into the realms of cliff diving to finish a game, we need to have reliable placement on it. Then there you go.
HE show. I mean, I guess if you had a light tank that was thinly skinned, but
Would you select that above anything else?
No, of course not. Because first of all, you got to have concealment and Brandon Brothers. That's 100%.
Without a doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. And if you're a scout, I'm probably taking engineer, so I can just be a little faster.
Mm.
I don't see anything here, and we don't have to just talk about light. This is still the worst thing of all these. These are all. Every single one of these is better than reliable placement, I think. Depends on how bad of a driver you're. Good point. If a person knows their limits, that could be valid. All right. Anywho, those are getting changed. Auto return crew setting is going to enable the crew members. I thought we already had that, but I guess that automatically return the vehicle when enabled. Crew members participate. So I guess when you click on the vehicle, they come back. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, is that what they're talking about? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? If you
Don't know.
really want that to happen.
Here's an interesting one.
You could do it. You can do it, can't you? But you go retrain crew, return crew to vehicle, send crew to the barracks. You've got all that option, haven't you?
I thought you return crew to vehicle. What's the difference? I have a button here that says that.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't read. It works pretty well, better than the mod. No delay at all.
Unless it's a better than the mod, no delay at all. Okay, but I have that here. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. What's the difference if I go to? Hold on, let's go over to the game here.
UI.
Watch scene. Right here, I have it. I have return crew to vehicle. You don't press the button. You just click on the vehicle and it goes right there. Okay. Copy. Look at this one. Crew mentoring course. A new consumable, the mentoring license, allows you to transfer experience from one crew member to another. When used, the source crew member is removed and all their XP is fully transferred to your chosen recipient.
Well, that's interesting.
You'll be credited with 3 mentoring licenses with additional ones available as rewards, etc. Provides flexibility for managing and optimizing your crew's skills. I think Chronal, it says you can... The setting can be switched on or off.
Can be switched on or off.
Yeah.
You'd need that because you might not want that to happen.
Improved filter memory. I like this. Main filter toggles in the barracks and other menus retain their settings so they don't reset. That is super irritating when you're trying to go back and forth into the crew thing. When every time you go to one place, it resets everything and you have to do it, click everything again. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good what do they call
Upgrade.
it? Yeah, upgrade.
Buff. Yeah.
Quality of life, right? QOL. Quality of life.
That's the one.
That's a good one. Improved confirmation windows. Ability to adjust crew books with the mouse. Oh, so you can do more crew books with the scroll wheel. I think you can actually do it with pressing the plus, but now the scroll wheel will add. That's good. Streamline notification center messages. Reducing unnecessary pop-ups. Thank you.
There we go. That's something useful.
Yeah, so many pop-ups in the bottom right. Some stuff with Steel Hunter, the Shamrock Showdown, which I guess is the next event because we got Patty Day coming up, which I understand we can't say Patty anymore. Is that right?
Unless it's concerning rice. You could say paddy fields, can't you? That's all right.
Concerning rice. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Updated equipment assistant feature. Relevant practical onslaught. Oh, this is Watt Plus stuff. Okay. Battle Pass. We got some information on Battle Pass Season 16. We'll talk about that in a bit. And they've redone how you do the goodies. It's a Battle Pass vault. And now, Pilgrim, you'll be happy to know we have a new currency.
Of course we do. Of course we do.
Chips.
Yeah, more valuable than gold.
Small, hot, fried potato pieces.
Yes.
With vinegar.
With vinegar. And a touch of salt.
Maybe some mushy peas on top. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe some mushy peas on top. That's the sort of currency you want. Edible currency.
Not coins, not stamps, not silver, not gold, not bonds,
No.
not experimental parts.
Best time to buy them is after 5 p.m. in the evening.
Wrapped in newspaper.
Yeah, well, what happens is at 5 p.m. in the evening, you get everybody goes and buys chips for their tea.
Yeah.
So you get all the leftovers. So after 5, they put a fresh batch in. So go around about 6, you get a fresh batch of chips.
Oh, good call. They won't be old and
Yeah.
soggy.
Yeah, not old and soggy, but fresh and crispy. So when you go to Wargaming to buy your chips, make sure it's after 1700 hours.
More on Major Skills. How you doing, man?
Buddy.
Yeah. So great. They've reworked how you get the goodies here. You have to get chips, which I assume you get through Battle Pass. Then you go and you buy the stuff, Vice points or whatever they used last time. They're adding rewards. Well, it says expanded rewards, and then it talks about kind of the same stuff. So I don't know. I think last time you could always get members from previous seasons, and with some exceptions as well as other valuable items. There's a post progression system. the Elite Circuit, where you now get vouchers. Oh, I didn't know there was actually another new type of stuff.
Another currency, vouchers.
A new type of reward. Voucher.
A new type of reward. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, vouchers, chips, stamps, coins, gold, silver,
Tokens.
bonds, experience, tokens. Forgot about tokens.
Yeah, tokens.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, keys. Good call. Forgot about the keys. There's keys as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. These as well.
All right. So that's all that. What else we got? Let's go over here. And we shall see the DBV 152, I believe, is the build tank that's coming up here towards the end of February, I believe. It's a tier 10 tank destroyer.
Oh, that's going to hurt. That's
Yep.
going to be millions of silver and XP and.
Yep. So that's on the way. Project Cold War is happening. And then we've got some of these tier 9. I think some of these are the Battle Pass tanks. The new ones, the new reward tanks.
Oh, yeah.
But we got the Char Murat, the French tier 9 medium tank. And I don't remember if it's an autoloader or something like that. It's tracked, I know that. Don't know what's going on here. Oh, there we go. It's firepower. Doesn't really say. Unknown. We won't dig too far into it. We've got the Arak 105, another French tier 9. This is a light tank tracked. Promotional. So none of these are premiums. This one's a premium. Never mind. This tier 9's a premium. This one's promotional, which means it doesn't make extra credits. Then we've got the tier 9 heavy tank, rear turreted 265T. Yeah, it does look big. And then we've got this just absolutely horrendously bad. Come on, dude. Whatever. 50T is getting a buff. Lorraine.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
probably needs
I
it.
think it needs it. I think
Yeah.
it needs it.
Probably needs it. Faster reload. Aiming time slightly less. Dispersion slightly less. Turn movement, some other buffs. And this thing's getting a buff. I rarely see these. The Project 07 HK hydropneumatic thingamajigger. The not British, but German TD thing. Wedge, the German wedge. Getting some gun. Getting some gun buffs. And then the MBT B has gone out of super test and is in common test. And they're working on it. So I'm not sure where that's going to show up, but that thing's probably a Clan Wars tank, I'm betting. I'm pretty sure that's
that almost feels like tier 11, doesn't it? When you start to think.
Yeah, this is I think a Clan Wars thing. 6 round drum, 3 round mag. Remember, it's a bang bang, bang bang, bang bang, at tier 10.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Now, is it a buff or a? Apparently, it was overpowered. They increased the reload from 33 seconds to 43. It may have been a little too powerful.
Just a bit, yeah. It started to become a Waffentrager, wasn't it?
Oh man, yeah, they slowed down the rate of fire of that thing significantly. Jeez, Goose, what's happening, Goose? Good to see you, man.
Goose is in the house.
And then another American
Shout out
premium,
to Goose.
tier 8 premium that's in common test. That's a lot of new tanks that's been moved into common test. The TS6. Isn't this out already? Or am I thinking? No, I'm taking TS60, right? Is there a TS6 now and a TS60? What on earth?
That I don't know. Yeah, there could be. TS66, TS6. No. Yeah, there is, isn't it? Because it went on.
Yeah,
to
there's a
TS5,
TS60,
yeah.
which is different. So this sort of looks like the Russian 103.
Yeah.
So that's different because the TS60 is a 9. This is also a 9, and this is a heavy tank though, not a TD. Huh?
Yeah.
And it. Oh, that's interesting. Change it from a promotional to a premium. Well, well, well. So that's going to be a premium tier 9 heavy. This ought to make credits. Wow. What else we got going on here? TS60 isn't bad. Yeah, I haven't got to it yet. I got it in the garage. I haven't got to it yet. All right, for Battle Pass Season 16, here's the what the gouge so far. We've got a Bliss Quickskia, Type 71, and the E50 are the, I don't know, what are they called? The story tanks, whatever. So they picked that out of some screenshots. All Battle Pass rewards and values for testing. Yep, got it. Brand new cycle. Is there a day in here? I'm assuming soonly. I'm guessing after the lunar thing here, we should have a new Battle Pass pretty quickly. Goose might have a date. You got a date? Let's see. That Battle Pass Vault thing we talked about. So it'll be available as soon as the season begins. No need to complete all 3 chapters. Oh, that's nice. I didn't catch that the first time. Okay, good. So you can start purchasing things as you get your... What were they? Coins? Stamps? Tokens? What
Tokens?
were... No. What was the new... Keys?
Widgets.
Silver, gold, bonds. Which currency am I using? Teeth. Eye teeth?
Yes, teeth. Yes, eye teeth.
Yeah. Fingers.
Chips.
Chips. They were chips, right?
Probably were, actually, yeah.
There were chips, because we were making jokes about chips. Oh, but vouchers. Oh, my God. I can't keep track. Anyway, however you buy it, you can do it immediately. Of course, you won't have any because you haven't done any Battle Pass. But looks like as you move through Battle Pass, you will have options to get stuff. Because remember, you'd had to unlock all 3 in the past. And that was probably certainly a pain point for people because not everybody's going to finish the bloody Battle Pass. So it'd be nice if you got some stuff along the way, if you could spend it without waiting to unlock the whole Battle Pass and being punished for not finishing the whole thing. Punished isn't really... Punished is a...
It feels like you get punished, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a dumb word in that case, but you understand what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah.
I played your game. I did what I could. I couldn't unlock them all. Can I at least get some stuff for what I've done? How about that, Wargaming?
Yeah.
New currency rewards are now... Oh, here it is. Chips.
Chips.
Okay. Flexible purchases. What does that mean? Most items, except bonds, which are sold exclusively for chips, can be purchased... All right, hold on. Most items in the Battle Pass Vault, except bonds, which are sold exclusively for chips, can be purchased with chips or gold. I see.
Yeah.
They don't want bonds being bought with gold. Got it.
Yeah.
Chips are only valid for the duration of the season. Oh, those don't hold over. Basically, this is what the points were in the past.
Yeah.
Remember, you accrued points, and then there was a point shop. Now it's a chip shop where you can get a nice chippy.
Chips.
You can get some mushy peas. You can get your fish.
Yeah.
Curry sauce, the sausage, which is really nice with curry sauce, battered sausage, very nice. You know, and other various deep fried delicacies that you'll find at any chippy.
Yes. Healthy food, by the way.
Absolutely. And any amount of salt you want.
Oh yeah.
Zero judgment.
Yeah.
Zero judgment. Would you like this pre-salted? You know, post-salted, pre and post-salted.
Extra salt.
I like it.
Salt, extra salt, on the side salt.
The Parkgate chippy, man. Would you like salt?
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
Yeah. Say when.
It's like, good Lord, there's already a pound on it.
Yeah.
Delicious.
My blood pressure.
Yeah. Seagulls love it too.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. They steal your chips down in Parkgate.
They're cheeky and big.
They are. That's the truth.
Oh yeah, they'll come right up to you and take your chips.
It wasn't Parkgate. It was down in Cornwall, but the house general was bought one of these Cornish ice creams, which are made with double cream, really lovely Devon. Yeah, big ice cream. She held it out here like this. Woof, gone.
Gone.
Seagull swooped down and took it out of her hand, man. It was like, really?
Yeah,
Just
they're
can't do
aggressive.
that.
Aggressive.
Oh, talk to me, Goose thinks you're doing something.
I am not.
Yes,
Goose.
he is. Yes,
This
he is.
this knucklehead is though. This knucklehead is. Now,
He's coming with us.
to be honest, he's not going up Everest, but he's going up something
Island Peak.
insanely dangerous anyway.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we're doing Everest Base Camp at 18,000 feet, and then we're going to climb from there to the top of Island Peak, which is 22,205 feet.
I can't go because I'm not in my prime like Pilgrim yet.
You're not old enough. No, you're not old enough.
Yeah.
You're only a child. You
Yeah.
can't do it. Oh, dear.
Yep. So yeah, he's insane.
I fully admit to being completely insane.
Anyway, how's that training gone? Have you lifted a leg?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I've got a stepper now, so I'm wearing 25 kilo weight belt, stepping up a stepper, doing 100 steps every second day, and then I'm doing a 10-mile walk every Saturday.
Up your own steps, or are you going out to town somewhere and
No, I've got a stepper machine.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I've put the weight belts on, and it's like a vest. It's like a waistcoat.
Yeah.
25 kilos in it, so I feel really heavy. And then I get on the stepper and I do 100 steps.
Is your pack going to be 25 kilos, or is it going to be heavier?
No. The Sherpas will carry the big stuff. We'll end up.
Does that include you,
Yeah.
if need be?
That's my plan of action. I am walking anywhere.
How heavy is the Palanquin, anyway?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's the one thing.
Or you're going to be up on that chair with your fan?
Yeah. I mean, like, go forward, peasants. Go
Right,
forward.
boys!
I'm trying to sleep here.
Stop here for tea.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Yeah, you'll go up in an F-15, wouldn't you, mate? Just to prove a point. There's a quicker way of getting there.
Oh, man, yeah, I'll buzz you guys and then head back to the O Club for a beer.
Yeah.
Or a tea, whatever. A tea and a dump.
Yeah.
I say, boys,
Thanks, Jimmy.
time for a potty break.
Yes. Can you take it away for me?
Just leave it a little frozen nugget for someone else.
Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? You got to be very careful where you step, haven't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody mentioned that you will be able to use your chips as soon as it opens, and that's true. You don't have to unlock everything, so that's the whole point of points becoming chips.
Okay, that's cool.
And vouchers, which, oh boy.
And all the rest of it.
So we got Tomasz Wojnowski. Wojnowski.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Wazowski. All right.
Yes.
So he's a crew member, and he's the Polish guy. So he's in the Blisk. We've got Wataru Nakamura, and he is in the Type, I would assume. He looks pretty aggressive.
Doesn't he?
We
Not
got
very nice.
Conrad Hirsch with the art somewhat delicately dancing around the problematic German World War II stuff, as they always do. Oh, shit, Conrad. Sorry, dude. Whoa! Someone's taking over my computer. So he comes from let's read these. These are always good. A distinguished commander who always gets the job done. Fair enough. Thomas has two passions. Oh, boy. Armored vehicles and, as paradoxical as it may sound, nature.
Wow.
Okay.
Don't you just love the blurb?
That's all right. If he is not busy training with the crew, you'll probably find him somewhere nearby, jotting down another interesting fact about the surrounding flora or fauna in his
Of course
notebook.
you would.
Bit of a bird watcher, this guy.
Well, how many university botanists become tank commanders, I wonder?
Well, come on, a guy's got to have hobbies.
Gotta have a hobby.
That reminds me, I actually have put a bluebird house up in my backyard.
No, you
Yeah,
haven't.
yeah, a friend of mine made him. He's like, hey, I got all these bluebird houses. You want one of them? Yeah, I got a big pole that I have my string lights on and all that stuff. And so Got up there.
So
And,
you haven't made your new shed yet, but you've put a Bluebird.
no, shed's out there. I got the new shed.
Oh, you've got the shed.
Oh
up there
yeah,
as
we have the
well.
shed.
Well done you.
Yeah, Tajma shed is up there, and now it's being
Awesome.
filled with stuff. So it occurred to me
Yes,
that
that's what it's for.
yep, it occurred to me that either I have too much stuff and needed a new shed, or now that I have a new shed, I don't have enough stuff. I'm not sure where we are on that.
Well, you see, you can't have that discussion with the house general because then it becomes a license to purchase.
Well, the default position is not enough stuff from that angle. There's no
That's a
question
lot.
there. So all the
That's a lot.
stuff we didn't have places for is going to go out there, and then that makes room for more stuff. That's
More
the
stuff. It's a license to purchase. Really.
Yeah.
You're going to end up getting a George Foreman grill and things like that for the kitchen. You don't need it. You know what I mean?
Well, the Bluebird house, apparently Bluebirds, this is what my friend said. It's hard to describe, but you've got the hole for the bird to go in, but there's like a little,
Yeah.
it kind of comes out a little bit. And only
Okay.
Bluebirds will go into that kind of,
Oh, is it? Because that's what they like.
I guess. I don't know why
Other birds don't.
other birds don't. And we actually had one checking it out. So I did not see the Bluebird realtor with it. Maybe it was the realtor checking it out, but
Are they blue, by the way, these birds?
yeah. Hence,
Like totally
hence the name. No, they're not. They're not. Oh yeah, their
Like-
feathers
like
are
that
blue.
blue there. That blue there.
The male's pretty bright.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty
All
bright.
Cool.
The females are less. I think it was a female because it was a more subdued blue, but it poked
Oh,
its
she
head
was
in a
checking
couple.
the house
Yeah,
out.
yeah. She
She
stuck
got
her head a
some
couple
realtor.
times in there,
Yeah.
and then came out, and because obviously didn't want to cruise right into something, didn't know what was in there. She then flew away, came back, and then actually went in it twice, all the way in.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Well, when you start seeing bits of twigs being taken
Right.
there, you know something's
Yeah.
happening, don't you?
Pretty clever how he's done it because the bottom has got a thin opening, so you can actually see that. So if you start to see the kind of, then you know
That's good.
something's
Start to
doing
see
its
it.
thing in
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, something's going on.
Yep.
Awesome.
So we'll see how-
yeah.
We'll see how that
Oh,
goes.
it's high enough on a pole that you're not going to get vermin in there and all that lot.
Well, we have a cat. It's a good
Ah.
12 feet up there.
Oh, okay, so the cat's not going to really want to bother climbing.
It would have to really want to, but I feel like it could if it wanted to, but it's not going to get into the box. There's no way the cat's
No.
getting in the box.
No. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. But he does tear stuff up, unfortunately. All right, so let's see. Old Thomas. So he's inquisitive mind. He went to the jungles of Central Africa, colonizer, where his rich tank experience and passion for nature are fully revealed. So he's... Anyway,
So bad.
Wataru.
So bad.
Wataru's Iron Discipline. Oh, okay. That's... What's that called? That's a... Oh, what's the word where you make assumptions about people's... stereotypical.
Is that the word? I'm completely lost.
Yeah, he's got iron discipline. He's the stereotypical samurai with iron discipline.
There you are. Yeah, iron discipline, because samurais have stereotypical.
Right. Allows him to, like British people like tea
Yes, that's it.
and
That's what we
pudding
do.
and
That
pudding
is a
and
stereotype.
pudding and
Yes.
tea. Pudding and tea is
Yes, and Americans like Coke and candy.
right.
Okay.
Now you're on. Now you
Yeah,
get it.
yeah. I get it.
He doesn't make a fuss out of nothing. Okay. However, his
Okay.
youth spent behind the wheel of a motorcycle makes itself felt and manifests itself in an endless love for cars and a passion for competition. This is a very long sentence, run-on sentence, as well as absolute disregard for any rules. What? How do we get there? How does he have iron discipline and he disregards
He's
rules?
a Hell's Angel. He's a Hell's Angel. That's why.
Oh, I got it. He's a criminal kind of.
Yeah.
So he's a yakuza.
criminal.
He's actually a yakuza then.
He's Yakuza, yes.
And although the wild days spent on the neon-drenched streets of Tokyo are long gone, his passion for intense competition has not disappeared, nor has his desire to improve every day.
The language is so flowery and so convoluted. It
Wataru
makes
is a
no
complicated person. Pilgrim.
Neon-drenched streets of Japan.
Tokyo.
Same place.
Beans and toast. Yuck. I saw.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with beans on toast. What's that about?
Do you ever go to the potato food carts that you guys have, where they just load it up with butter
Yes.
and
Yeah,
garlic
yeah,
butter
yeah,
and
yeah.
cheese,
Yeah.
and I'm on board
Baked
with
potato.
yeah. I'm on board with everything except the last thing they typically put on top. The
Baked
the bean. No Heinz 57 beans. Why do you like
Yes,
Heinz 57?
yes,
They're horrible.
Because and then you put cheese on the top of it. Melt the cheese over the beans. It's a delicacy. It's considered a delicacy.
It is. It's delicious.
Yes.
Minus the bean.
Yes.
Leave the beans off.
No, with the beans. With the beans.
Okay. Let's see what Conrad's doing.
Yum yum.
So Conrad comes from a secluded village hidden among the endless forests of southwestern Germany. Oh, so he's from
He's an Austrian
southwestern. Okay.
from the Tyrol.
Yeah, he always dreamed of writing a great novel about his native land because,
Of course he did.
there's a lot of comments here. Because, without a doubt, nothing could surpass his beloved Black Forest.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. He wants to write a book about the Black Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. There I was walking through all these trees.
Should
lots of
write-
pine needles everywhere.
Should write a book about Black Forest ham because that's delicious.
Well, yes, there is that, and the occasional tourist.
Gretel
Yes.
and Hansel. However, fate had other plans. The command sent him to the other side of the world. Oh, another colonizer to participate in testing the latest tanks. Where?
Well, it was a beta, wasn't it? It was Water Tanks beta.
Oh, right. So
That's
he's
what
a
we
beta
bought, didn't
tester. I got you. He's a beta tester.
Yeah.
And although he misses the fresh mountain air, foreign landscapes inspire him to write new stories. All right, good job,
Of course I
Connor.
do.
We got a
He's
writer,
writer.
a motorcycle rider,
Yeah.
Yakuza, and a bird watcher.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So we got all that. And we got a flora and fauna man as well. So we got a botanist, botanist.
So Angelique
Botanist.
Dion is of course in Wargaming's standard act you sell the women.
Of course you do.
Mm-hmm.
You do. You sell the women, you get the blokes for free.
Right.
Isn't that great?
That's how they roll with that. A gifted linguist, polyglot, and experienced negotiator, Angelique. Wait a minute, they changed her name. Angelica or Angelique? Which one is it? Unknown. She has two names.
Unknown.
Ooh, a
Unknown,
spy.
yeah.
She's a spy. This is a alias.
All right.
Masterfully copes with any. Wait a minute. Hold on. Angelica masterfully copes with any, even the most difficult task. That's a really odd sentence. She easily finds an approach to people and does not get lost in stressful situations. Awesome. She doesn't lose her cranium. Good. Sometimes
Good.
it seems that the more difficult the conditions, the more comfortable she is. She is good under pressure. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Rumors, here
Oh,
we
boy.
go. There are rumors that in the past she participated in. I told you she was a spy. Two names. Participated in espionage operations. See, I sussed that out before I even got to that part. Angelica
Yeah.
has never confirmed them, but she has never denied them either.
No,
I
no,
can
she kept
neither
stum.
confirm
Kept
nor
stum.
deny.
Did I? Yeah.
She always found an answer to any awkward question with her inherent
plausible
deniability. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
With her inherent charm and intelligence.
Yes. Well, you see, that's giving the game away because she was three-letter agency.
Yep.
Absolutely. If it's
Yep.
charm and intelligence, that's the capital letters for at least, well, two of them for the agency, isn't it? Charm and intelligence.
All right, those are the characters for Battle Pass. All you care about is they have 3 skills.
Yeah, that's not bad actually. That's quite handy.
Did it say
Then you
0
can throw
skill?
one
I
of
didn't
them
catch.
$250,000 at it.
I didn't catch that. Are they 0 skill?
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Where does it say it? These crew, they're 100%. Have 3 100%. Does not say 0 skill, so I'm assuming it's not. It is not 0 skill, but they do have enough experience for 3, so that'll be very useful. Common tests we talked about, and Year of the Snake, and these are all just more changes and whatnot. And there you go, fellers. There you go, fellers. Battle Pass. Did I think Goose is gone, but did he ever answer when? I didn't see it. Guido will fly if he goes. Oh, I didn't answer Goose's question. Yes, there's a two-seater F-15. Several kinds. There's a D model, which is just a C model with 2 seats for an instructor in the back. There's an E model, which has a Wizzo. And there's the EX, which is the new one. And of course, there's all the various E model variants that the Israeli one, the Korean one.
Yeah.
Who else has got it?
Because you've flogged that particular airplane around the world, haven't you?
Yeah.
Everybody's got one.
Saudis have it, have a two-seater. Israelis have a version. Malaysia, I think. Is it Malaysia or Singapore? One of those has a version.
Yeah.
Koreans have a version, I believe. Did they buy the 15E? I don't remember. There's 5 or 6 countries that have various capability E models.
Yeah.
The EX, yes, it is somewhat. It's kind of one of those dual development and fielding things. That, of course, the benefit there is it's a known entity. So a lot of the stuff, Singapore, there you go, Brute. It's got it. Singapore's got some. So it's a known entity. So its deployment and development is going to go a bit faster in terms of not having to go through all the very basic testing shit. So it's sort of a dual track thing. I don't know. I have no idea if any of them have been deployed to actual operational units yet. I've lost track of
Very
that.
capable, though. I mean, all of the F series that you've produced over the years have been very capable aircraft. To be honest.
Yeah.
But I know you guys fill it full of your good stuff. But when you flog it, you strip all the good stuff off and just flog it with like cables in it instead of fly-by-wire and all.
It's just one of those things.
You know.
It's some of both, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, sometimes we get stuff others don't have. Sometimes they put stuff in it that we don't have.
Yeah, yeah.
The Israelis,
Which
especially.
changes the capability.
Yeah.
When to whatever specifics they need.
Well, yeah. Sometimes they want part of it, they don't want part of it, or it's stuff that's specific to our equipment that wouldn't work for them anyway. The Israelis are pretty famous for putting their stuff in any airplane they buy, modifying it the way they want. They're pretty good at that, actually. It's really not F-15. It kind of looks like what we flew was, yeah, it's completely updated. It's a new airplane. It's much closer to the later E model variants that went out to Singapore and Saudi and all those others, which had a lot more capability. In fact, but I think it's even beyond those. Yeah, fly-by-wire. Yep, it's a cool airplane. Definitely. Well, I think that's about it, Pilgrim.
Yeah, it sounds like my house general has returned from Yonders. She's been away for the weekend with my daughter, so I can hear footsteps are pattering around. It'll be about right time now. Then.
That is, that's a good time for you to, do your duty, sir.
Go and see how much she spent. That's what it is, mate.
You have no control over that. What are you going to do?
Well, no, yeah, no. But when she gets together with my daughter, it's like credit card is limitless, isn't it?
Can you hear the bags being set down and the crinkling?
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, the thump on the table.
Yeah, I'm thinking, hey, that sounds expensive. Oh, dear.
I would go back to the Air Force for free if I could fly. I bet it's actually pretty easy to fly. That's always been an interesting thing to me. All the guys I know that fly the F-22, like, it's an easy airplane to fly.
Because most of it's computerized. Then,
Yeah, it's just employing it's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But flying it like a Cadillac. The Eagle was pretty easy to fly, to be honest with you. It's a very
Well, you've got aircraft now that aren't inherently stable, whereas like the Eagle, I guess, was a stable aircraft. I mean, we've got aircraft here now that needs a computer to make it stay upright.
Yeah, there's some of that. I mean, when you
go all over the
right,
place.
I mean, when you aerodynamically, when you have something that is maneuverable, it is typically an unstable aircraft.
Platform, isn't it?
You know, it's all relative to other airplanes. But for example, an airliner is very stable, but it's not very maneuverable.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's designed that way to be very stable, whereas a fighter's designed to be maneuverable, which makes it in many regimes unstable. But
Yeah,
then, like you
need to
said, if
flip it.
yeah, so if you've got computer aided stuff and all the things you would do to mitigate all that kind of thing. Anyone can fly the employment. Yeah, 100.
Yeah,
Brute, I
that's
used to
good.
say that, but the fact is, you and I say that, but not everyone can fly.
Well, I've proven a point because DCS, I can't even get the giveaway free aircraft off the runway, can I? You know what I mean?
I used to say
I
that.
can't fly.
I used to say that I can teach anyone how to land the Eagle, and I've sort of changed that over the years. I can teach a significant amount of people who might not otherwise believe they could to land the Eagle. I
Yeah.
cannot teach anyone to land an Eagle.
No.
The sentiment's understood though. Like that, we always said, like, look, I can teach any of you guys. The context is usually students who show up
Yeah.
to training,
Yeah.
to F-15 training. Some guys washed out and gals washed out along the way. The vast majority of them made it through because they'd already gone through a lot of hoops. So of that kind of top tier talent, we could teach nearly all of them how to take off and land. It was the employment piece that was hard, and that's where the washouts happen. Every now and again, you got a kid for some reason just couldn't land it, or not specifically land it, just were unsafe in the basic operation. So instrument
Yeah.
flying, takeoff,
Yeah.
land, just all none of that really was going well for how they got there. Sometimes is
Because the image you've just presented in my mind when you said you had a kid that couldn't land it was that he's still up there flying round and round,
Yeah.
and refueled all the time.
yeah.
He hasn't come down yet.
Well, if you can't land it, you're probably not refueling very well either.
yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be coming down eventually then.
I wasn't smart enough to hook you. Oh, Brute, I let you get through. Yeah. I'll have to redouble.
He's got a grade sheet on you.
I'll have to read. No, I have one on him. I wrote it on him.
Good. Somebody needs to.
Well, he was more experienced than me anyway. I was just a new IP rolling around.
Oh dear.
They gave me the experienced TX courses because I couldn't hurt them too much.
No, you couldn't do too much damage.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I think that's it. Oh, Brute, I'm good for Monday. I know you. I think you actually said something about it, but let me know in Discord if you want to do something on Monday. Do some flying. But other than that, it was a TX Track 2. Yeah, exactly. Well, we just wanted you to get out of here. You were in the way of the B course stuff. Yeah. What that means is he was an experienced pilot coming back to the jet. He'd been out of the jet for a while, so you do a condensed
Refreshers.
refresher. Yeah, so you start at the beginning, and many fewer rides than a B course would do than a basic thing. But of course, you didn't need that. You just needed to get them back up to speed in the jet, and then send them off to their unit, whatever they were going off to do.
Yeah.
I should do one, Gator. Maybe we'll record this one. I'll get some more footage. I have about 4 good footage videos. I've been meaning to do like a collage of kills just for giggles. But we should definitely do another DCS thing soon. You're good? All right. I should be good too, man. We'll do it. All right. Let's go find somebody to raid.
That'd be good. If we've got anybody at this time in the morning.
You never know, man. With Steven is up. Anybody got any suggestions they want? QB? No, I'm not raiding him. He gets all prissy about it.
Yeah.
Which I get. He doesn't want 42,000 small streamers raiding him all the time, trying to get follows off of him.
Negative
How
decay, what's up, my
about
dude?
Good to see you back. I hope
Longbow
your week
at
wasn't as
large.
wild
Know
as
nothing about
mine.
him.
Oh, yeah?
I moved into my own
Yeah, that
place for the
sounds like
first
a
time
fun-
last
Yeah,
Friday.
give that a
Ah.
fun.
Slightly soured as I
Congrats.
ruptured my Achilles
Longbow at
tendon.
large.
Oh,
Streaming World of Tanks.
no. You
Let's go
ruptured
see
your
what he's
Achilles
all
tendon.
about.
Playing
He's
rugby
an old
yesterday.
fella with a gray
Ouch.
beard
Sorry to hear
and
that.
bald.
That
It's
doesn't
kind of
sound
combo
very
between
fun.
me and you. He's got gray
That's
beard
meant
and
to be incredibly
mustache.
painful, isn't
And he's
it?
bald like you.
At least you get to just relax.
must be the
right?
man.
Negative decay. Well, congrats
that-
on the new
it's got
place.
to be the man then if he's got
Not so
anything
much
like us.
congrats
There
on the
you go.
rupture. On the rupture.
You guys have a
Achilles
fantastic
tendon.
rest of your Sunday. Oh,
That
we didn't even
sucks,
talk
Mickey.
about it, but it is Super Bowl Sunday. We'll chat about it next week, though.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah, it
yeah,
is
yeah.
Super
Thanks
Bowl
for you.
Sunday.
It is Super
Yeah.
Bowl Sunday.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Fly, birds,
Yeah,
fly.
yeah, let's go
All right.
Eagles.
See ya.
Right. Take care.
More tanks, right?